Hello friends, welcome back to Data Center Guru, a knowledge platform around knowing A to Z of data center. In my previous session, I already talked about basics of data center, its definition, what are expectation from the data center of organizations, what is the key objectives of data center. I also talked about what are the building blocks of data center puzzles, how do we solve that data center puzzle, what is required, what is the foundation pillars of solving these data center puzzles. And today I am talking about data center life cycle. As I explained in my previous session, data center building blocks are a subject in itself. Each and every building block required multiple subject matter expertise. Similarly, if you see this data center life cycle, which helps you or making this entire journey of data center intact, and in my subsequent slide, I will explain you broadly about all these blocks of data center life cycle. However, I would like to say that each and every block is also a subject in itself and it requires multiple subject matter expertise to take care of it. So, moving forward, so I just converted this life cycle into horizontal form for better clarity and explanation. So, the first stage we talk about SS. So when we talk about SS, then let us say we are building a data center from the scratch, like that we are building a new data center. So what do we do in the assessment phase? The first thing what we do is we set the requirement very clearly. We understand the requirement and we document the requirements. What requirement? Like what is the capacity of a data center, what is the type of your data center, what technology you want to view, what efficiency you want to achieve, what is the level of availability you wanted to achieve, and so on and so forth. What are the timelines? Similarly, once we have the requirement assessment, we also call it requirement specification assessment is done. We also look at location where you plan to build your data center. So what we do the assessment on the location is typically from the two perspective. What are the risks associated with that location in terms of environmental risk, in terms of man-made risk, in terms of availability of resources or services which is required for the data center. So we need to do those detailed assessment to uh, list out and document the entire stuff of things. I will talk about the balance assessment if the data center is already live and which comes during the improvement life cycle in the last slide. So let us move to the next stage, which is design. So these two stages or phases are linked together because assessment phase provide inputs for the design phase. So whenever you are designing, you need to have the inputs from the assessment phase in terms of the requirements, in terms of site conditions, what are the risks associated, so that you are able to incorporate all those stuffs in your design documents so that those risks are eliminated. If those services are available or not available, those things are incorporated in your design documents. So in the design, what are the different aspects which you have to take care of from beginning to end? Is first you prepare a master plan where you want to build the data center. You prepare a design basis which is linked with the inputs of assessment phase. Then you prepare a concept design. So keeping in view all those requirements and the location stuffs. Then you prepare a budgeting, how the entire data center build is going to cost overall. Then you prepare the detailed design. If customer asks for, you prepare the detailed RFP, which talks about the detailed scope, specification, design drawings, bill of materials, eligibility, and so on and so forth. And once the design is over, before the construction, you need to also prepare the construction drawings. We call it ready for construction drawing, so that the team during the construction phase can follow and execute the project based on that. Then the third phase comes, which is build phase. So the first two phases, if you see, are more associated with the input collection. Second thing is the blueprint. In the design, you prepare all the documents which is only on the paper, but there is nothing practical which is available. So the build phase is something which helps you implementing whatever blueprint which you prepared in the design phase and practically implement it. And build phase is the phase which is the longest time phase if you talk about the complete data center project life cycle. So if you talk about overall project life cycle of a project, so around 70 to 80% of the time is taken during this build phase, and balance design phase and the closure phase. So what are the different aspects in the build phase? The key thing is the project management. So project management itself is a domain, and it has multiple subdomains into it, which starts from scope management, schedule management, contract management, communication management, stakeholders management, cost management, quality management, and so on and so forth. So this is a very, very comprehensive subject of project management, and which is key for success of the projects, because that defines the end-to-end process of project management, and then you ensure that whatever construction which is happening on the site is taken care of. Another aspect is a quality planning and governance. So why I am talking about quality planning and governance? Because quality of the project is ensured by the quality planning. So if you do not have the quality plan, you can't have the governance or actual execution of the quality aspects of it. Like you have got detailed construction drawings based on which the people will implement the different systems and subsystems. Similarly, there has to be a quality assurance plan which the construction team should follow and adhere to. Another five level commissioning process. So that is one of the aspects which is very, very important during the data center project life cycle. Level commissioning process is like you are having control points at the different stages of the project, and then you check whether whatever is required during that phase is 100% in line with that or not. If it is not in line with that, then you correct it and make it 100% in line before you move to the next step. So similarly, this 5 level commissioning process are 5 stages of commissioning of data center. So that what is the importance of it is typically if you don't follow it, then you will find a problem at the end of the project, which is level 5 of commissioning problem, and then it becomes a lot of challenges to rectify those problems. It becomes a feasibility issue, it becomes a times issue, and so on and so forth. So if you are having following this 5 level commissioning process, is normally ensure or enhances the probability of the quality and required project delivery at the end of the day. Then you have got project documentation. So you have to prepare as-built documentation, project documentation, and then there is a handshake between the operations team and the project team, which called handing over, taking over process. So this is all about the build phase. Operate phase is a phase where Operations team takes over from the project and they start operating, maintaining and managing the data center. So once the project is delivered, then it is very necessary for operation and management team to take care of or sustain the same level of reliability, performance, efficiency, sustainability, whatever I talked about earlier, across the lifespan of the data center. So that's when operation and management is very important. And obviously, there are different aspects in operation and management. First thing, you need to define the KPI, key performance indicators for operation and management, because there is a normal theory. If you don't define your KPIs, which is measurable, then you can't be able to measure, and if you can't measure, you can't improve. So defining the KPI during the operation part is very, very important. And then there are other aspects in the operational aspects of it, which talks about staffing. So what kind of staffing, their qualification, the skill sets, experience, numbers of staffing. Then you have to set up a complete processes and procedures. It should not be a people driven program, it should be a process driven program. So you have to write a lot of detailed processes associated with operation, maintenance, parameters. We call it SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. MOP is a method of procedure which is used for maintenance. EOP is emergency operating procedures, which you operate when any emergency scenario happens. Then you have got to set up a different kind of SLAs with your vendors who is going to help you supporting the or meeting those KPI is defined in the beginning. And last is very, very important, which is effective behavior. So even if we have got all this stuff available, but if the people work on the side doesn't define the effective behavior of it, then people will not follow, and the real value of what you define, operate and manage, we also call it operational sustainability, becomes a major challenge. So you need to be proactive. So proactive is all about defining the entire operation and management program, writing all the policies and procedure, training the people around the entire stuff. Second is practicing it. So you need to ensure that whatever is program is set up, people are trained and people are following it. And the last is the reporting. So you have to measure and report to the multiple stakeholders how, what is the current stage and how you are managing the entire scheme of things. Last is optimize. So whenever you are measuring your parameters, then you find somewhere that something is overachieving, something you might be underachieving. You need to do analysis in terms of find out what is that problem due to which you are not able to meet those criteria. So typically, if you talk about the overall performance parameters, then first data center availability or uptime of your data center, whether are you able to meet all your uptime related criterias or the requirements. Second, are you able to meet the performance requirements, because performance of your people, the processes and always also the systems and subsystems provide you the outcome as an uptime. So whether these performance are intact and there has been degradation in the performance, that has to be seen. Then you need to also look at the quality aspects, whether are you able to enhance or at least meet the quality standards what you are looking at. And last but not the least is the total cost of ownership. Are you innovative, finding innovative ways or different ways to see how do I reduce the total cost of ownership for the organization of the data center. So this part is typically the implementation of those actions to ensure that you are able to achieve the optimization plan what you expect in the data center. And that's how this cycle rotates. That means If you see optimize and then it goes back to SS. So SS, what are the things like identify the area of improvements, and then you design to implement those improvement areas, and then you build, implement it, operate, manage it, and that's how the entire cycle works. One of the very critical part of this entire data center life cycle is in the different stages. What I talked about is these stages are done by different set of people, different competent people, and they may not be available all across the data center life cycle. And that is the reason it is very important to have a link between these two phases. Like when you move on from SS to design phase, so there has to be a link or the bridge to ensure that 100% things, whatever we talked about in assessment phase, whatever information we got here is translated and given to the design phase. There has to be a hand holding process clearly to reduce the gap between what we saw or assessed and what design perceived or took over. Similarly, whenever you move from design to build phase, so the construction people are different, and you are handing over a paper to the construction team or set of documents to the construction team. So there has to be aligned so that there is no disconnect between what you are implementing there and what actually which is there on the paper. And similarly, from build to operate phase, there always a handshake happens between operations team and the build construction team to ensure that these links are working properly. Because in today's world, what I saw, the major gap or the issues which happened in during the project life cycle, where even if you dreamt of or you planned for X quality of data center, X type of data center, but when it comes to the project delivery, you get a compromised outcome. And I'm telling from the example, more than 90% of the projects has got these compromised outcomes. People take it knowingly, unknowingly, or with compulsion. So these linkages is going to help you bridge those gaps and uh, help you or support you getting what you emphasized in the beginning. So this is all about data center life cycle, and as I said in the beginning, this is a subject in itself, and we may have to conduct multiple sessions of each and every phases of this life cycle to for you to have a much better understanding and deep understanding of this subject. Now I am talking about what next. So after 3 days, I'm going to talk about evolution and types of data center. So typically, how the data center has evolved from uh, 1950s to 2020-21 now. What are the different types of data center? How those types are defined? All those details I will be talking on my upcoming session on 25th Feb 2021. So just wait for it and we'll get it. And with this, I would like to thank you again for all spending your time and watching this session. And I'm confident or hopeful that this sessions has provided you certain level of knowledge about data center life cycle, which may help you shaping up your career in future. And I would request you to continue providing your support, guidance, feedback for improvement if I need to carry during this entire educational sessions, because these sessions are going to be multiple, and if I count myself, it can be more than 100 sessions to even have that basic framework or knowledge on the data center front. So, with this, I would like to thank again. Have a great day, great evening, great night. Shabba khair, namaskar, bye bye.